It's going to be some more TVT goodness. I'm Day 9.
And I'm Mr. Bitter, and the map is Shakur's Plateau. The countdown is over, so we're looking at the loading screen now. Happy just played an excellent game, maybe a perfect game. He kept the pressure on from the beginning. He never really threw away units carelessly. He allowed a little bit of harass to happen, but by the time that
That is the ugliest greeting to start a game. Good luck. Just smashing all the necessary buttons at the start and basically getting there eventually.
Like these three, just all hands down. But yeah, Happy played a really great game there, and Beasty was behind from the get-go and never could catch it back up. So I'm, as a Beasty fan, I'm really hoping he can bounce back here. But I really have to credit Happy for playing so solid on Antigua Shipyard.
In the bottom left corner, we see perhaps the most cheerful man in esports. It is Beastyqt.
And on the bottom right, his teammate, his opponent, the Blue Terran, Empire Happy. I love StarCraft fans. They're my favorite.
They are the greatest. You guys are awesome. Guys, high five each other. Yeah.
No, antisocial, but awesome.
Wow, no one actually high-fived each
Not
other.
a
They just
single
sort of
high
stared
five.
straight ahead, because right now it looks like Beastyqt is indeed going for the gas first play. So he has some aggression coming up.
Yes. Could be any number of things. The first thing that comes to my mind anytime I see gas first is obviously Banshees, but Blue Flame Hellion drops, or even just fast factory tech are very possible alternatives. What would, if you had to venture a guess, Sean, what would it be?
You know, I like really fast Banshee with one gas. That is my favorite way to open on with a gas first play. On this map, I strongly prefer doing some sort of just regular fast expand. Empire Happy, staying pretty tight, close to his base. Again, Empire Happy is the kind of guy who will pretty much have the same structure every single game. I do think that the very ultra-fast Banshee with no gas is a good way to sort of balance between getting up a fast expansion and being aggressive in a way that forces a response from your opponent.
Right.
You know, if you go for something like really fast Hellions, sometimes he can just immediately negate it with some really good positioning. But with a fast Banshee, he at least has to have some real solid anti-air.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right. And this is the really super fast factory, throwing that down before he even starts a first Marine.
Jeez.
Over in Happy's base, we do see a similar opening. He's got a refinery and a barracks, but the gas came down a little bit later, and as such, his tech will be a bit more behind.
And it looks like Happy, yep, with that second refinery, I would not be surprised at all to see a very fast Banshee. That super left justified factory will pretty much always be given a tech lab over to the starport. So Beastyqt, though I'm pretty sure he'll be wanting to go Banshee, yeah, wow, he really wants to get that Banshee up. I do think that we could see Happy do his trademark Cloak Banshee opening in this matchup.
It's very possible. He's saving up so much gas, Day 9. I think it'll be a Banshee and Cloak coming out at the exact same time. What I'm worried about here is, as Happy is teching so hard, is he going to have enough anti-air to deal with what Beasty's doing?
I mean, he'll almost certainly be able to get the Viking out in time if he needs, but with this super mega ultra fast Banshee, you can't really get the second refinery up and get Cloak and be safe from everything else at once. I mean, sure, you can do something psychotic like get super fast cloaked one Banshee, but that's like the only unit you're going to have for like 10 minutes. You have to sacrifice so much. Beastyqt, interestingly, is getting a second refinery. That's quite uncommon with this type of play. He is going to end up throwing down the expansion command center anyways, it appears, but he has the 2 tech labs up quite early. This will allow him to get a Raven up very quickly. And look at this. That's exactly what Empire Happy is going to be doing.
Oh, wow. So Happy's not actually sprinting towards any sort of fast Banshee tech. He's just making sure he's completely safe against fast Banshee tech from Beasty, and it looks like he will be. Where is Beasty's Marine? I guess his Hellion has already roasted it.
And it looks like that one Banshee is going to pop out, do a little bit of damage straight off the bat to that Hellion, and he takes it out. And I love that. So often it's easy to think, ooh, my Banshee's done. Got to try to kill off as many SCVs as possible. No, back off and just kill anything that you can. And now Happy sees that the Banshee is out. He will pull back to retreat, getting his own command center up, and now the factory eagerly awaits his brand new tech lab.
Yep, Raven popping right out, and that's going to make this, well, I mean, Beasty doesn't even have Cloak.
He shot his own starport. That's a great way to open up the game. And it looks like Beastyqt's trying to do his best to just pick off Marines. This is why the fast Banshee opening is so popular on this map. You can almost always isolate at least something. The Beastyqt has really whiffed his micro pretty hard at the outset. He's trying to get maybe some scouting done. He really should have killed off at least 2 or 3 more Marines.
Yeah, he's careful, Beasty. You really don't want to lose that Banshee. He's managed 5 Marine kills, but for the most part, Happy has avoided taking any significant amount of damage. You know, these builds from these 2 players are very, very similar in spite of the fact that they're completely different. You know, the tech path is identical, but ultimately the units that they have out on the map are different, and as such, they're in very even places. Economically, they're very close. Their expansion's coming up at a similar time, and their supplies, as we can see, 44 supply to 44 supply.
I mean, that's absolutely true. I mean, you end up with that same core composition, but the way that you sort of wiggle your way to that mid game is what really defines the style. And oh, that's a great play right there by Beastyqt, trying to get the repair up with the auto turrets. Turned out to be a little bit too much. Empire Happy with that great harassment.
Oh these auto turrets are getting a ton of kills. This Raven has got 6 kills already. The gas is not going to die, so that refinery will be saved, but that was really effective harass from the Raven.
I mean, the only thing that Happy really lost was energy, and I really think that if there was one unit that I would say is the trademark Happy unit, it would be the Raven. Even getting the Raven very quickly against Protoss for all sorts of things like point defense drones, auto turret harass. I mean, very, very cool play from Happy, and it looks like he will be transitioning into the big Marine tank Viking play.
Yes, indeed. One thing about the auto turret that I think is really cool is it continues to be useful in the late game, as when you drop the auto turret in the middle of the fight, it takes attack priority. So, you know, if you don't have to deal with Marauders or Vikings and you don't want to, you know, the point defense drone becomes useless, you can drop down that auto turret and it essentially takes damage away from the rest of your army.
Looks like that Raven just kind of hanging out with the Vikings, and I mean, I just cannot emphasize enough how much I loved that cute poke where he just sent the Viking in with the Raven just to kill off another Viking. We've seen how important it is to maintain control of the skies, to have more Vikings than your opponent. That's a great way to begin it with your opponent on the defensive footing. Now Beastyqt's never quite sure if he can be aggressive or not.
Yes, indeed. Still very, very close, though. 4 siege tanks for Happy, 3 for Beasty. Viking count 4 for Happy, 3 for Beasty. It's a Raven against the Banshee and a couple Hellions on the map here for Beasty, but very, very similar situations. Not a situation where it's necessarily easy to attack for either player.
Oh, and now it looks like Beastyqt gets to the watchtower just in time to see a huge tack moving towards the front of his base. It looks like he's getting ready to plant a turret down at the front, and those 2 siege tanks need to reposition themselves very, very carefully, and it looks like here's the engagement. Oh no, he's got to be careful. Has just enough energy, had 102 energy right when that point defense drone went down. Empire Happy now taking down the Vikings. Siege tanks trying to siege on up, but with that air advantage, Empire Happy's tanks are always going to see a little bit farther, and oh, Happy sneaking around to the backside.
Oh, wow.
In a rough position.
Look at the positioning of Beasty's tank just in range of one of those low ground siege tanks, so that's very nice. Banshee does fall, and Happy still has 3 tanks able to shell Beasty's expansion. This is so annoying for Beastyqt.
Yeah, Beastyqt is in a real bind right now. He needs to repair the Vikings, needs to have some way to answer this enormous threat. Ooh, the Raven's really low on health. He does manage to pick off the Raven. No, it looks like 2 more Vikings arrive just in time. Empire Happy playing impeccably. Does manage to pick off 1 Viking, but Empire Happy, again, is maintaining that air dominance, and there's just not that much that Beastyqt can do about it.
Yeah, Beasty just seems to be falling apart here, Sean. The army of Happy in a strong position at the base of his natural, and Beasty just not able to muster the units he needs. He's pumping tanks off of 2 factories right now, which is, I think, more than Happy, but he's just, the positioning is what's killing him.
Yeah, I mean, that is just such a money position to set all those siege tanks up. Moving forward with SCVs and Hellions, trying to get his siege up. Does manage to pick off the Raven, but there's still way too many Vikings. Does land successfully, and still Empire Happy has these siege tanks up. 5 and 6 kills each, and a lot of those are tanks.
Oh my gosh. The expansion of Beasty taking a ton of damage. He's being forced to just chain repair with SCVs, and he's not really repairing fast enough. It's slowly and steadily dying. Oh, Happy, forgetting about some reinforcements back there in his natural expand as he gears up to take a 3rd base.
I mean, part of me wants to say that Empire Happy was just calmly making sure that he didn't have any sort of counterattack problems. I mean, this is a big gaping entrance that anything could slip out of. And now that he knows he has enough to reinforce well, this might be a finishing blow move.
Oh, absolutely. It could be Marine stimming and running forward, and it looks like Happy might not even need those reinforcing units.
Wow. Happy completely destroying
man.
Beastyqt. Look at the units lost tab. That is the power of positioning, doubling his opponent. And with 3 more tanks, Marines, and Marauders, Happy may close out a very fast game 2.
Wow, that is absolutely incredible. Happy impressing me so much here.
Good game, Happy. Wow.
You know, Happy has been a great Terran player in Europe for a long time, but I don't think maybe I'm misjudging him, but I would have put Beasty maybe a level above him. But he played so well in that TVT.